Ooh, okay, I'm back here with another video for you guys. and I do I need a venting system, so I guess that's you. Hope you guys enjoy my videos, because I really mean well for you, and I want you to get all there is for you to have. And for me to get up and do these videos, it is like, it's all of me. Trust me to do them. It takes all that I have in me to make sure that I get it out there to you guys. Because, you know, I'm sitting here where I'm at, and I'm getting the downloads are always coming to me. Always. I always have the information. But what I receive, I have to channel it down in a way where you can receive it, okay? So I have to sort of like take it and move it this way and put it over here and then bring it down here, and do all sort of scrambling it so that so I can get you to see what I see, okay? And that's not easy to do, because I'm not appealing just to someone that's in my, frequency that I'm on, and the thought patterns or the conscious, unless I'm talking to the cosmos, the ancestors, then they right there with me. But when I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking to a whole world of frequencies, right? So it takes me a minute to to really get it in a message, so that you, no matter where you at, you can hear me, you can receive the message, the words that I say, the energy that I give out to put in it, what I'm talking about. So it's not something easy to do what I'm doing here. It's very, what I use, mixed up or dismantled, you know what I'm saying? Most people can't do it, I put it that way. It takes a certain operation inside of a person to do that. Because it's not easy to appeal to, even the lowest frequencies of people. So congratulate me and yourself for if you can hear it, okay? But so anyway, how you're doing with it, I hope you are receiving. And if you're not, please keep continuing to listen. Go back in some of my videos back before I'm to where I'm at now. Those could probably appeal to you even, because my consciousness changed. I'm elevated, and it makes a difference, okay? Some things I was saying back then may be more appealing, you can hear it even easier. I don't know. I was coming in hard at those times. So, and just know that YouTube has been stalking my videos, tampering with them, whatever. It ain't just them. They got their minions along in there with them out here, and whatever. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's fine. All things will work out, and the best for me, right? Because winners always win. Losers always lose. That's a true spoken fact, right? Okay, so I love you guys. I love you so much, every one of you. I really do. I have so much love for you in my heart, and I want to introduce myself if you have never came to my channel. I am Queen Isis from the world, all the way from that world that you may be not familiar with, but I am. So look it up. I also carry the energy of Lord Shiva, okay? I am from the cosmos. I am the cosmos bitch here on this planet, and I am the cosmos bitch there. And I am in love with the universe, and the universe is in love with me. I have a cosmic feeling that I'm in love with too, and they're in love with me. So, yet I am here to experience life as you experience it. I am the source, but I am the energy that holds that energy in this little body. But there's a lot of more of that somewhere else, and a whole lot of it. Yet, every time Source wants to experience a way of life, Source comes in somewhere, okay? So, I love you guys so much, and let's talk about something here. I did on one of my other videos, I remember, I did this thing, it said, it's a quote here, but it has power and energy that it actually operates exactly how I'm speaking it, okay? And when it's operating, you got to take the words and you got to hear what they're saying, and then you got to expand your conscious in an imagination to recognize what is it really saying, okay? Let me turn some air on in here, so. Okay, so this let me put this up. Yeah, this phrase is a phase, okay? So a phrase. So, and it says, sow a thought, weep an action, okay? Sow a thought, weep an action. Now, what does that sound like? Huh? Because as you think, so are you, right? And that's how reality is created. It's how you think and how you use your thoughts. And so most people say use your thoughts wisely, which is, it's true, and it's the way we really should operate, though many lives we have not operated. Why? Because we was put in, your planet been infiltrated, infrastructed. And so what I'm gonna have to do is kind of break that down and show you what it means to be infrastructed, okay? And since you have been infrastructed on your planet, you had malevolent energies of another species or another entities, okay? Another existing beings. You are not a physical being, but you're in a physical body, and the being that you are comes into the body as you come to this planet, and you incarnate as a baby because you have to grow a certain way and develop in certain levels of life, because your experiences is here to experience emotions and contrasts. That type of a life that you cannot experience anywhere outside of this planet. You can, but it does not affect you the same way. It affects you completely on a different level of life. So if you have, for the very reasons that you have lived many lives and you have done certain actions in your life, in your experiences, you have did a lot of law breakings. You have broke many laws where it may have affected your whole life experience as to grow up and to become a higher conscious being, a higher level of energy that operates in a pureness of soul, okay? And this is just all the experiences that the source itself wants to experience itself in, so it brings the energy in and insert it inside of you as a another part of it as a conscious thought of itself, and it gives you the energy that you will be as Source sees you to be, and operate in that power of that particular frequency of energy. And so Source is giving you that energy of itself and the power that you will hold, so that you can grow up to that higher being self that Source has called you to be. Okay, it's like, okay, you can be even though good and bad and evil and wicked or whatever they don't really totally they exist, but they're not really something that is not existing until you allow it to exist. Okay, it only exists in your perception and in your believing or reality. That's how they exist. Okay, other than that, it doesn't exist. But is it an energy that it is? Yes, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't be able to say it. You wouldn't be able to think it. So it does exist, but it only will exist in your life as you perceive it to be. Okay, so if Source has got a thought that way, that is an energy of evil or wicked or good, well, it is created in that thought, and the thought's there, and the energy of it is there, but it does not, come to you or work with you unless you decide to work with it. So you have to make the choice of being all that you choose to be, whether it's wicked or not, non-wicked, or life and love and all things that is pure and whole. Okay, it's all in that way. But until you was infiltrated, you wouldn't have had to actually operate in a world with so many beliefs and so many perceptions and so many ways of development and growth and operation in your whole vicinity of living or experiencing life itself. Until that happened, you would have had more ways of pure in heart, pure in mind, okay, and pure in soul, because you wouldn't have had experienced any other thing that was more or less than that particular field of energy. You wouldn't have experienced things that they would call consciousness, that's an animal instincts or animal nature, because you are coming from the animal nature as developing, as evolution, as the evolving. First plant and rock, and then something sort to the animal. Then you go on to where you exist like this, okay? And then you just into your God. But before you become to where you at to this day, you was already developing to the God. But the God that you were in the beginning was more in the chaotic energies. It was a chaos energy. And the chaos has to be purified. It has to be brought through a whole cycle of clearing energies, enlightened, meaning that you didn't have the pure conscious thoughts operating. You only had low energy thoughts, chaotic life, that all goes into what would chaos be, okay? That's a whole nother topic of itself. You gotta look for it, research it, get familiar with the words that I talk on, the things that I elaborate about. Get familiar with it, because you're not. If you hear me speak one word that you're not familiar with, and even if you have been saying it for a long time or experiencing or even just speaking it forever, and you still was never familiar with it, then you need to go and look that up. Research that, because that's the only way your freedom is going to come if you want freedom. Maybe you don't want freedom, but if you are into being freed in mind, body, spirit, soul, and all that is, then you must see your way through the force. And I'm telling you the truth. I'm not giving it to you just for the mere sake of telling you, speaking on stuff here. Okay? I'm really intend to impact your mind and your whole heart with what I'm saying here. So if you never got familiar with the clear of knowing what that word mean, because everything has a meaning to it, there's a reason for everything, right? It says. So you have to get to know the meaning, the true essence, the true energy that it is operating in, because it is all energy. Words are energy, and words operate in an energy of itself, and it all have a force that goes along with it, a force that impacts it, that gives it power, you see? So you want to know what that particular words that I'm speaking from my, mouth here, and what is it saying when I'm saying it? What is the meaning behind it? And they have more meanings than one. Now that I'm aware, because the language that we are using is pretty much damaged language. It's spelled language. It's a language that can either free you or entrap you, okay? And if you don't recognize what it means, you could be saying a lot of damaging to your own soul, your own well-being, and not recognizing it, okay? Even thinking certain thoughts is the same as speaking it. Not, pretty much the same either way, because you've got to think it before you speak it, however way it comes forth, right? So we want to learn our way out of the bondage, of the entrapment of the world that has brought itself into your way of existing in growth or in life, and has, placed itself around you in a way that it can show that you are just how it presents itself to you, okay? And that is the way things are, and it's not, because it really isn't. Life is not as it appears to be. It is absolutely the opposite, more so than any as you see it, because it's not, not a real world as it is folded out in front of you. Okay, so this world that you live in now is a world that has been brought to make it appear as heaven and earth, and a lot of different pictures. Okay, it's painted a picture to you to believe heaven and hell both exist right here, and they do, but it is not how it is formed and how it is brought before you to believe it and to see it. Okay, because that, the truth meaning of heaven and hell is a way of energy flowing, energy exercising, or energy operating, okay, and how you operate in it, how you is making choices and in your whole world, or your life, or your existence, how you have chose to exist in. So that's what heaven and earth is really about. And heaven and hell, I apologize. Heaven and hell has been brought to you on earth to make it, see that it both exists right here on this planet and this reality, okay? So, and one big reality that they have formed heaven to appear to be as when you go into the church, or they made the church look like it's the heaven, and the outside of it is like the hell. That's just one example I'm giving you. There's many examples. This is just one, okay? And so it's made you look like you go into the church, and the church is where you can reach heavenly energy or heavenly minds or heavenly soul free, lifting up. And then you're made to listen to the Bible and what it says and what it tells you to do and how you're supposed to worship a God and look up to the heavens and okay, and make sure you give penance to the God that you are, in tune. All these things, okay? I'm not kidding. So it's made to appear as to be something that is not, but is how you have been perceived and how you have been deceived, how you have been manipulated, and how you have been placed in the illusion of believing something to be something that is not, and not believing something to believe that is not. Why? Because you've only been made up in lies. Your world has been created in a bunch of lies, and the truth lying in the midst of it, okay? But the truth of it has been like sort of behind the scenes, okay? And the lie been in front. So that appears to be truth is more or less the lie. And that appears to be a lie is more or less the truth. You separate it, you discern it, because it'll take a mind to separate that particularly, information, the truth versus the lie. And this is why I'm here, to give you the truth and show you that the lie lies and the truth speaks, and it holds and it stands, and it gives you the life of freedom that is meant for you as a soul to be and to operate in and to live, and not in chains and bonds that you believe to be free. You are free, but you are living by the control of those who have a controlling way over your world as a whole, not just over you, but over your whole world as it exists and it appears in your reality as you can see it. It's a whole lot to that, okay? But you gotta be able to open up. Here, I said a lot of words to you just now. How many can you research and see what the meanings of to them? Do that, because you need to. Do you know what it is? What it is? What is reality? What is it? What is that? Some may just lightly define it, but I suggest you research it, because reality means a whole lot. And you can create many of them. They're like all the time you create them. I'm like, what the fuck? My God damn, can we get that, not create this reality of this? And if you are like so far out of the way of life, and its meanings is so narrow on how you to be in life, and how you were to be developed in your true life, in the wholeness of yourself and the existing of you. It is so narrow. And one would think the narrowness is like, what do we do? This all we have? Yes, that's all you got. You don't have nothing. No more is for you. There's no more sizes. You're like, I can't hardly move up. You better learn how to move in that little space. Get smaller, or you won't move. Oh, okay. Let me slim it up some here. Bring it in. So that's life. I'm like, I kid you not. That's the wholeness of it. Is that narrow. You out this way and all over, you are not truly growing in the life of pure wholeness, and what there is and all there is to be in existence. You have not been developing in that. You have been more into this way of development, and around about way, okay, where it is like something that takes the narrow way to bring it in. And you have to actually get in there and be there, and in order to bring all that in to a period of growth and development. So it's did I unplug it? It would be something. I can't believe it. I thought it had it plugged up long enough for it to be charged. Anyway, yeah, it's still charging. So this phrase says, it says, sow a thought, reap it doesn't say a deed, reap an action, right? So action, I think then you reap a deed or habit. So an action, you reach a habit. You reap a habit. Okay, so I sowed a thought. The thought is, let's say my thought is, I'm gonna go murder that, you know what? Okay, now that thought just a little bit. But if you continue to think on that thought, there you are eventually will take action. Eventually you will put an action behind it, okay? And then after you put the action, there is a habit going to come along with that, because now, what? You got away, or you got something, you know, impact your adrenaline. You know what I'm saying? You got something from this that you can begin to bring a habit now. And that was a habit. I mean, you know, a habit of doing this. Let me keep doing it now. I feel pretty good. I don't feel bad at all. I like that. Taking someone's life. It feels good to me. You know. Maybe I'll try it again. See how I feel. You see what I'm saying? It's because you won't get to that action if that's something that is not of you. You couldn't. It's impossible. So you have to be somewhere in that energy, and it would be already operating in your frequency and in your energy field for you to act on it. And that's whatever thoughts I'm talking about. And I ain't just talking about that one. That was a huge one. Let's go to something much smaller. Let's just talk about stealing your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, money out of their pocketbook or whatever. How about that? Or just stealing something, period. You know, how are we seeing what the word it means? Even that stealing doesn't mean what it says. And it don't say what it means. It is also an infrastructured way that has been placed in your world, that you believe in it. Whether you believe in doing or whether you believe in not doing, that is the perspective and the reality that you must decide. And what is much higher than that itself of what you attend to. You see? So it's all about defining the realities and allowing the mind of your open conscious, the higher conscious thoughts, to be open enough to feel and to hear source of the all creation, bring the thoughts in to channelize the ones you're thinking, or to minimize, or to shut them down. So when we live in our thoughts, that's where all the troubles begin, and the non-troubles. Anything that you want to create first come through your thought. And then you place it into energy that you want it to be in, a frequency. By thinking on it and of it. And then you move it through these chakras that's in your body. Some say you can bring the energy through your feet, which I haven't experienced yet. But is there chakras in my feet? Yeah, it is. And when I'm grounded to the ground, the planet itself, the earth, then I'm pulling the energy from the mother of all creation. As Source has put its energy in it to be that as it is. And then she operates on a certain frequency and energy level. And her energy has been infrastructured along with yours, has been put in a prison of some way of not being free to live your free will as a free will planet, and not being able to exercise your free will as a free will planet. And you don't have that, but you have free will choice. And you always have a free will choice. That can't be taken away from you. But your free will has been bound upon another power of something that is keeping yours from not exercising itself, not being free to roam, free to live, free to be your me, and none other but your me that you want to be. So that has been put, locks and chain has been put up on it, and it has did well in doing it and keeping you blindsided, fooled, meaning that something that you're not, living a whole nother different existent life that is not who you really truly are. But you have been, lowered down in your consciousness and have been brought to a place of shut down, shut off, cut off from being able to operate in higher chakras, where you can, you go in and you feel the whole true essence of Source operating through your whole being as being existing. You're existing inside of the Source itself. And so when you're existing separated from that, which is more in your heart, but yet you still have a part here that you are still connected to it, but yet you've been let's say deceived and seeing it to operate in it in another way, where you're not actually allowing the energy to flow in and up, like the Jacob's ladder. Yeah. See, and that Jacob's ladder go in a different. It operates inside of your body, but it also operates in other dimensions where you're allowed to go up and down and create the life that you want. Okay, and so that part of your life has been shut down or bound, and where you're not able to rise up to higher thoughts and conscious, bring them in, or being able to receive them. Okay, you haven't been able to receive them because your DNA was shut down, right? They call it junk DNA, the ones that they shut off and left you with only 2 helix of you know, way to think for yourself, the way to, you know, be able to use thoughts to create life and develop and grow. No, you was only able to grow and develop and only to a certain limitations. And it kept being recycled around and around and around and around. You see. So back to that phrase of sowing a thought, okay, and reaping a habit, okay. Then when you get to the nation, I'm gonna drink some water here. When you after you got it so you know well down, it became a part of you, and now you are already done became that what you first started with a little thought. And that is exactly how your world was created, just that way, by a higher conscious mind of something that was already developed in a different conscious than where you were at, because your conscious been shut down. Now we right here. You and me are pretty much in the same line of thinking. We can communicate here. But now you, out of manipulating, okay, deception, because as it's been told, there's only two sets of people that really totally exist as all, and that's technical and moral. So you are moral, they are technical. Technical takes a lot of, you know, you can work that shit, okay, when you're a technical person. So you have a way of thinking versus this moral person. Okay, so this person is all in love and happy and just joyful, and that everything is just like peace and living and just being right about living and right about things that you do, and you know, doing, you know, the right things in life, and just feeling that that's the way it should be and how I'm supposed to present myself. So those are the thoughts that you operating in the energy of source, because those is the thoughts and the energy that you feel that is for your life. This one is another different replacement or placement, okay? And it's technical. It don't feel like you feel. It don't have it in it. It only can see and believe or exist in that, but all it can, you know, make what it wants to make. Control. Whatever that comes in tech energy. You got a phone, you got a computer. What's inside of that computer and how it makes it operate? That's how techs think then. But these are thinking in much higher conscious thinking of levels. So they have created weapons that can shut your heart down from afar. If they want to, and they can take your life too. They can do it all because they have technically created something that is in that energy frequency. So in order for the bring balance in, you would want to build a world that has both energies operating in the all of all. And everything is in a whole, but yet all that is in there. Okay, and then only what has been brought into that was in darkness is no more in darkness. So it's not in energies that let's kill my brother or my sister or my family. Let's take their life. Let's treat them like they're just garbage or trash or animals. Let's play with their life. Let's treat them like toys to us. Let's do this. Well, that part right there is no more existing, because now this part has come in to balance, and therefore the light must dominate. It is made to illuminate the dark sides. Where the dark was first without information, it had not that energy that operated in love and pureness and wholeness and of all and all that, because it was only wanting to operate in that was disrupted, corrupt. So until Source has brought the light to where it can penetrate through its heart, through its soul, and its soul begins to move out the dark side of itself and allow it to, the light to come through, and it can receive something of a greater energy to balance itself out. And and now that when that can happen, then you have a great world. You've made something that all can exist in, can reside in the life that everyone has decided to build for itself, has chose the way that it wants to reside in or want to create itself in the energies of Source, you see. And before that, you've been going through this here after cycles, after cycles, after cycles, until where those energies that was in the dark side of itself, always working in disruption and corruption and tearing down, and and if it built up, it was always built up in the energy that would tear back down, build up, tear down, build up, tear down. Never, but not using its own full energy of its own self, because it only can create in so much of that, just that of itself. It only have so much power that operates in that particular energy, because even in the smallest of itself is very powerful. So Source only allow it to just be in the growth of wherever it's at. Okay, then in order for it to grow more, it needs light. It can't exist without it. So they both fuel each other. So when it's not allowing the light to come through or to penetrate, then it's just only operating on a dark energies. So it only can create in that. But so for it to have more power, to make itself more powerful, it gets energy from you or others. Okay, so what it has to do is keep you thinking in those low thoughts as it do. So it made your world be that way. So your world been built in war state of being, living, existing, all in the warness, war. Well, something had to start the war. Now what's got to end the war? See, and this is where we're at now. We're finishing. We're starting to put warness out of the created energies. We want to balance out that particular energy that is not in the light of itself. It doesn't allow the light to penetrate through. So light has to come in heavily, or come on your planet in a high vibrating way, in a higher consciousness of seeing things and exercising itself in the light, and so that it can come up in a force of enough energy to break down the darkness that has been keeping your world to believe that it's in the light when it's not. It is in darkness. Okay, and the light that it shows you is a created light of something illuminated to make it appear to be something that is not. Illuminated way. Okay, that's why you like I say, you got They made you believe the church is like his heaven. And it's the saving place. It's the place you go to get out of the dark, to let the, be free from the dark. So that's how it has illuminated your mind and your thinking. So the devil had a head start on you though. See, it has been allowed to exist for 6,000 years to create your world the way it has made it appear to be. And now is your day to be in victory over that which has you has given your power to it actually, but in a way it took it. It did, because it overtook your world, your life that you was already existing in and already creating it as you were. You may have not been in this intellectual and in this particular physical avatar the way it exists now. It took a long time for them to get it to look like this. A long time. A lot of work had to go in it. So, but you still existed and you were evolving wherever you was at. You were connected with Source, and Source was still there co-creating with you. And so, but you were short on your intellectual, you were really short on thoughts and seeing things in a different way. It's okay to be righteous and be love and exercise in love, and that's what we are to do. That is the most powerful energy there is. But in order to exercise that power has to be you, and you must become that power itself. Otherwise it won't work. So the word itself it takes away the power that it is. Okay? So I don't know how, you can't put it in no words because it won't fit. It don't fit in a word itself. But the energy that it holds has to be all there is and all there is to exist. And whatever there is, that would be what you would become, okay? In order for that power of love to penetrate your whole existence, okay? And that's how you can break the dark things that is in darkness, or light, the dark places and holding of life that's holding it. You can penetrate it only through that energy force itself. Okay, so you wasn't already all that developed in that particular energy as Source itself. You was still being groomed and made up. Okay, and then something or someone or some other, outside of you, entity, deity, you name them, extraterrestrials, however way you want to take it to be, because all you have to know is that there's life existing outside of your planet and your world and your universe. There's millions of universes, millions. That's even low. There's so many that I can't even fathom it, my own way of seeing things. Because we're talking about a source of power, of energies, and what would that consider to you? How far can you imagine? That's the only way I can say it. As you can imagine it, then there it is, okay? So, it's, and the reason why I brought this whole topic up is because the guy on one of the videos that I was listening to it, Rod Hayes that was talking, and Rod Hayes was talking about, I think the guy asked him something about hell. They said something about hell, and heaven and hell is right here and it's inside of you. And that was truth, okay? But just keep in mind, always truth has to be clarified, and it has to be all truth, and where lies are no more existing in it. So in order for you to clarify truth, you must take what you receive and then take it and put it with more information outside of what you already have, and then another somewhere, wherever you can get your information from. You get it from everywhere, a lot of places, okay? But best way to get it just when it comes straight through. But if you got someone that thinks on the same wave and frequency that you are, hear what they have to say, and then if that lines up, you hear three, that's when you know you've got truth, because it's all you need, 2 to 3 clarifications to identify the truth that you hear and you receive. And if you hear the same, it's the same, no, nothing, it may be different, it may come out different, but it is saying the same thing. Then that's, have truth. Lies cannot stay on a straight line. They really can't. They are all over the freaking place. When you hear a lie, you only gonna get this piece and this piece and this piece and this piece. And you ain't gonna have them straight. You sure not. It won't. It can't be. It's impossible. Okay, so just know that. Okay? And that's how you can identify the lies from the truth. And you have one person, if they tell you something today and tomorrow it's a little bit more added or taken away, they are lying. Trust me. They're lying. And that is how you can define a liar. Because they are not going to be in the straight. Okay? They don't have to bump straight in order to be straight. And can they? I don't know. Most people, everybody can change, right? They say. It all depends on where you're at in your life. But this guy, he was asking about, he said, heaven and hell exist in the same place. And so Rod was saying, well, I don't see it that way, because he said, because hell is Sheol, he said, which is in the Bible called Sheol, which is it calls it a grave, or it's with a dead lie. Well, what is dead? Dead means just lifeless energy. It doesn't have life in it enough to hold itself, to stand up in itself, to be whole. Okay, it's lifeless, right? Okay, it's what I'm saying. So consider that. So and so he said in school is the same as Sheol, because it's spelled close to the same. It just alphabets and letters has to be interchanged, and they can be, and you have to know the language that changes them and the numbers, because you never spoke language. Go back and know how long it been when language began to be a language, or words that we speaking. When did that happen? Okay, just go back and research that. You was not, and you mostly you began as telepathic beings, where you heard each other's thoughts and you communicated that way. Well, it's really through your heart, but your thoughts come in and you put it in your heart, and then they can receive. And that's how you was talking, speaking to one another. And you couldn't hide nothing at that time, right? Because you had more pure thoughts, more pure energy, more pure. You're receiving in the pure thoughts at that time, because you were connected to your heart. You connected to the source once you connect here. And then you are connected to the all there is. And it's all in your heart, because the source has it's like a gold piece there. It's the source itself inside of that place in your heart. I forgot, it's a name that they call it. I'm not sure if it's the equilibrium, but it's there where you find source at. And when you connect, and that part, you are all connected and all there is, okay? So then this guy said, well, he said, and so Rod said, well, so school is just like hell or Sheol. It's a dead place, and it is. The schools that you operate in today, those government-made schools, consider government. Everything that's under governed is what? Being governed. And who's governing it, and who's governing them, who's governing it. That's what we got to find out. You know, who's governing those who's governing you in your life? Or who's governing them? It's always a head over head over head over head. Always know that. And also remember, as above, so below. Well, what was above that brought it down here, below? What happened above that brought it all to down on the low? Where it all, you know, ended up here. Because it started there. Do you see how people live here and act and fight and carry on? Except that on this one, in this time, this way, though it was the same there as it is here, except for this is only a copy of something that was, or that is there. It's a copy of it. So is it a good copy or a bad copy? You see, it wasn't just created. It was copied and then put in. I'm talking out of terms of just regular, basic language or information. But I'm giving you something to think about. And I want you to look it up, research it. Don't just listen to me. Hear what I'm saying and then go and find out, am I speaking words that you are familiar with? What does it mean to copy something? And you are copied in a 3D existent. What does that mean if you don't know? Get to know the language that you speak and recognize it, because when you are speaking words, you are also using that energy of it that is impacted into your life, your energy, and it is operating. So I am telling you, as I've said, and I'm going to say it again, the way of life and the world that is for you to take a hold of and to be in and to live as to be whole, as all there is and all there is to be is a very narrow place, extremely narrow. And it is narrow for a reason. Because if you truly want all there is, then you must be all there is. And how do you become that? No, just kidding. All right. So when he was saying that to him about the school, and the school is Sheol, and he said he sees it as what it is, which is true, but you're going to need to do a lot more research on what I'm telling you, because I don't want you to just hear me. I want you to hear and see and know what I'm saying is true. And as I say, I would start with Rod Hayes, but there's so many more of that information out there all over the place to know where the schools is like being in hell. Your world is like that, isn't it? And maybe not to you in your little circle because you don't see outside. But if you get out and look in, then you can see better. It's hard to see when you're in the fire. You got to get out of it. Or when you're in the midst of something. But when you get out and then you look through, and you be able to see then you may see something completely different than what you was seeing while you was in there. You see. And and this guy said, no, I don't see that. He said, besides that, he said, to me, he said, I don't see nothing wrong with, hell. I mean, it's, it's whatever it is or something. He said, however you make it. Or, I don't see nothing really wrong with that. I'm going to play a video. And then I'm like, what does he mean? I'm like, how can he say that? How can he think this? Because I'm thinking, well, now he's thinking a certain way, and that way that he's thinking is going to create that world, just how he see it and how he's thinking. So if he don't really see hell in a way that is, a place that's existing right here and outside of, and it is made up on earth, and it is, but you got to see it in order to believe it, in order to know it, in order to see the reality of it. And if you don't see it, then you can't. It's almost impossible. And you cannot see it physically, materially, until you see it within here. You got to see it in this particular third eye. These two got to come to one. And then this one has to connect to that one. And then source energy is always flowing to come through. You just not being open to hear it or receive it. But it always flows. And they say you can flow it through your feet and flow it through there. I know the chakras there, and get it however way it comes through. But the information to go with what you hear must come together. It must be in a straight line, so you can know what it is saying, what it means, and really know this is truth. Because the lies have been the thing that has infiltrated your world. The lies is infiltrated. If you wasn't living under so many lies, why do you need so many freaking laws? And who's making these laws? How did you get a governor over you to make laws? Who said that you were supposed to be governed in the first place? Where did they come from? And you're supposed to be a complete, sovereign, free being that come here to experience life as you decide that you want to take the experience of it. You had made the decision before you come. And you're still doing it now, even though your world has been infrastructed, but now you must make a decision how to tear down the infrastructure that has been that you have been living in, and that you've been placed in your life, and you have been operating in. And in order to do that, you must get in the narrow. You gotta get narrow. And you really do. You guys say, that's narrow mind. It's good to be narrow-minded. And it's not. It just depends. You see, sometimes you got to be open-minded. And sometimes you got to be narrow-minded. And know. But when you start to seeking out the truth of things, then you begin to know what is and what isn't. And you can see the light much clearer. Because then you're allowing the light to come in. Because information is light. Lack of information is darkness. What information are you seeking? And who are you seeking it from? Or where? You get to know who you're receiving information from. And when you do receive whoever, everything you want to know is already in you, and it is. But in order for you to wake it up, you sometimes have to see it in order to feel it inside, and then wake up within there, and then they identify with each other. Because the computer is who you are. You are the computer. And then you have an internet, and it's all in, the information's in your DNA. But the DNA has to wake up, and something has to jar it. So sometimes you have to hear something in order to wake it up. Like, hey, wake up! That's here. Yes, here. So sometimes you may have to go and hear someone say something or read something, hear the words as you speak. And then sometimes you have to see it. It just depends. In order for you to wake up what's inside of you already, the information that you need to grow and to glow and to be all there is and be your me, and to leave out this ways of darkness that has been presenting itself as the light when it is not. It's light, but how much? Because I say truth, lie is true, but it's not true. But it is true. Because all is true. You see? So, oh man, I hope I gave you a mouthful right, didn't I? And I'm not even done. I'm done as of right now. And then that topic. I don't know if I want to play you a couple of videos or maybe just play you one little song or something, because I've been really going at it, huh? I only got up here just to kind of illustrate on that, because that just kind of really got to me. I'm like, what do you mean? And I said, you're going to keep thinking that the devil had a head start on you. So if I was you, I would define how I believe what hell is. I would define how I can see what I believe what hell is. I would define that. I wouldn't just believe something and just run on and live and let it be. No. Because now you're building a thought. Then you're going to have, you got action going along with it. Then where are you going to be? How much do you need to become a nation? Are you a nation now? Yes. Nations has been built out of what? Lies. Corruption, chaos. Now where we're at to bring life into a life of people, no nations, but a life of people, of great people. Sovereign, if you want to use a nation, we say sovereign people that are in channeled with their whole self, with all there is, people that is into the energy of wanting a wholeness as pure energy. You have to want to be pure energy in order to become pure energy, and you must take it on. And that is not something we can speak about lightly, okay? But it's all in the wanting. And that's what it really happens. It's all it takes is want. Once you want it, then you decide on it. And then you move at it. You go in it, go toward it. And keep moving. Don't stop. Because you always win. Always win. You only will lose when you see yourself as you are. Or are you? Are you as a winning, or losing? Is there any way of a loser? Do you see yourself as that? Can you conjure up the energy that go in what it is to be losing, losers? If you always, as you see yourself, that's what you are. You see? And if you can see yourself as something that, whatever that you would like to be, then you will be just that. You will be that as you want to be. And just get in that feel of it, and that source work with you and bring you to that place that you want. You see? And all there is. And that's what you want, then you become all there is. And the energy of source created. Okay, so let's see. I only got, how much do I have on here? Maybe I'll just let the video go for now and then I'll come back. Let me see, let me see. Yeah, so my battery is still low. I don't know, I think, you know what I think's going on here? My charger is not all the way plugged in. So, oh, yeah, that's what it is. I take the phone off and then I don't plug it back in. So we're gonna leave it, and I'm gonna let this video just go, and I think I got it plugged in right. Yeah. For some reason, I don't hear it when I plug it in there. I don't think the sound, the noise, the sound. Do I have it off? Okay. Okay. Then what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stop, and then I'll come back and do another video. Okay. All right. I love you guys so much, and do share my video for me if you would. I appreciate it.